Hi everyone, how's it going? मेरा नाम है Shrey Mittal and you're watching me on E Times. कि as an actor सबकी life में सपना होता है to do Bollywood movies and sometimes the journey takes a little longer than usual. But finally it's happening for me. I'm going to do a film soon. I don't think any challenges per se in terms of every medium is a little different. But I feel like I actually feel very grateful मैंने सब चीज़ें कर ली है. When I go out where I meet people, I'm still not taken as a TV face. You know how? Because some people are very popular in TV. So I think maybe they might face more issues, but for me so far मुझे ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई है कि लोगों ने बोला यार तुमने टीवी किया तुम वेब और फिल्म नहीं कर सकते because of course I've done a web show also. It was a good thing because it gave me a lot of range to play in a show like that also, where I was able to play someone like who's a normal being who's dressing normally, but also to play something like that. So I think मेरे लिए भी was a fun challenge to do. मैं उस चीज को भी कितना convincingly और कितने मजे से play कर सकता हूँ. So doing a reality show honestly was never part of my agenda. And I hope I don't come across as someone अरे ये ऐसा है. I think जो stereotype ना कि अच्छा ये drunk है तो ये drunk play करता है. फिल्मों में देखते थे पहले कि यार ये इसको सिर्फ drunk का character मिल रहा है और she's playing a mother तो ये सिर्फ माँ के रोल कर रही है. और टीवी में I think the industry and everything has changed so much in the last 10 years where stereotyping is very less. I mean, I am on Instagram and social media, but I'm not someone who's actively on there trying to post and create content every single day. So it's been a big struggle for me.
Hello everyone, welcome to E Times. I am Sukarna and today we have with us Shrey Mittal. Quite a lot of interesting things coming up at Shrey's way and today we are all interested to hear about it. Welcome Shrey to E Times TV.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure as always.
How is it going?
It's going very interesting. It's a mix of good and bad days, but overall I'm very grateful, so no complaints.
Tell us, how excited are you for your Bollywood debut?
I'm very excited. I think सबके as an actor सबकी life में सपना होता है to do Bollywood movies and sometimes the journey takes a little longer than usual. But finally it's happening for me. I'm going to do a film soon, but it's still in the pre-prod stages. But I'm very excited. I wanted to be an actor ever since I knew I wanted to be something. So I think it's like a dream, but I still don't know. It's very surreal also because it's not happened yet.
Yeah.
So it's still like a dream for me.
So tell us more about Operation AMG. What is it about and how did you sign the project?
So Operation AMG is a film basically जो यूक्रेन और रशिया के बीच में वॉर हुआ था. There were a lot of Indian students who were trapped in Ukraine when the war happened because it just happened overnight. No one had no clue कि war होने वाला है. And how the Indian government swiftly, took action and like got everyone evacuated from Ukraine. ये उसकी journey है of all the students who left Ukraine and came back to India. And I think it was a very interesting process. They were looking for an actor. They were looking for new, fresh faces for a film. And I happened to come across someone who was casting for the film. And I met those people. I auditioned, and then that's how it happened.
So did it happen between like while you were shooting for daily soaps or you took a break?
No. So it happened right after, a few months right after Naagin had ended. And I was still figuring out what to do next. A few offers were coming for TV, but I'm like, maybe I wanted to wait because I just finished a TV show. So I was just thinking, kya karna hai, and this opportunity came along. And so yeah, I just signed that.
So reality show, daily soap and now Bollywood. Has the transition been easy for you or what challenges did you face?
So I don't think any challenges per se in terms of every medium is a little different. But I feel like I actually feel very grateful मैंने सब चीजें कर ली है. Like I've done a reality show, I've done TV, I've done a web show also which will release this year, and a film now. So I feel like it's challenging in terms of it's a different medium and a different skill set for different mediums. But I don't think it's been tough because I'm very glad I got to do everything. So
there are still many actors who are doing great in films and OTT as well, but they still feel that somewhere they have this TV actor tag in them which they need to break, and it gets challenging for them at times. Did you face something like that?
Honestly, not so far. I've done a few TV shows, but maybe I don't know it's a good thing or a bad thing. When I go out where I meet people, I'm still not taken as a TV face. You know how? Because some people are very popular in TV. So I think maybe they might face more issues, but for me so far मुझे ऐसी कोई problem नहीं आई है कि लोगों ने बोला यार तुमने टीवी किया तुम वेब और फिल्म नहीं कर सकते because of course I've done a web show also.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 TV shows before I signed the web show. So that was not a struggle at that time. So I don't know. Abhi to everything has been very grateful and everything has been very good so far. So yeah, there's no complaints.
I remember last time we spoke, you said Naagin changed your career trajectory.
Yeah, it
Do you
did.
still see it as a turning point?
I do. Honestly, I see every project I've done as a turning point, at least for myself. Maybe not career-wise, कुछ shows आपको they give you a lot more fame. Some shows give you less fame. Some shows give you more credibility. Nagin actually was a big turning point is because I'd done TV before that. I'd done a little work before that. But what happens is यहाँ पे ना industry में you have to establish yourself as an actor. Credibility बहुत important है. आप film देखते right? Suppose example of Vikrant Massey. He's been working for so many years.
Yeah.
इतने साल से he's building his work, he's done so much good work, but that one thing comes along and it just changes the trajectory of your career. So for me, it was like, I'm still very new, but I think like उससे जो credibility मिली है मुझे नागिन से, people have accepted me properly. I think so it really did change a lot of things for me and opened a lot of doors, at least in TV so far.
Also with Naagin, you know, that space where you deck up in a different attire, it gets very difficult for people or audience, you know, to also relate to you in real life.
Yeah.
Did you face that when you were doing that show? How audience perceived you in real life?
Not really. I feel like audience is very smart. So I think maybe earlier नहीं, but audience knows कि क्या character and क्या real है. And also in the show because I was also playing a normal person, so they knew कि I'm changing. So there was not like a big disconnect for them कि अच्छा ये ऐसा नहीं है. I feel like it was a good thing because it gave me a lot of range to play in a show like that also, where I was able to play someone like who's a normal being who's dressing normally, but also to play something like that. So I think मेरे लिए भी was a fun challenge to do. मैं उस चीज को भी कितना convincingly और कितने मजे से play कर सकता हूँ. So I was actually like a lot of fun for me to. Initially, was a very weird thing because normally you don't get to do. It's very detached from reality.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the sooner you accept the fact that any sort of work you do is a different character than you. So once I detached myself, then it was a lot of fun to wear those chains and वो थोड़ा अजीब लगता है, but it's like a lot of fun after that.
But getting to work with Ekta Kapoor's production house, how was that like?
That was beautiful. I feel like, you know, how they treat the actors on set in terms of everything they give you, everything you're allowed to do creatively also. I think the scale, as you know, for Naagin, how the scale is beautiful. So I feel like it was a great experience working with them. That was my first show with Balaji. And I just hope there's like a lot more to come.
And like having started with reality show, how did your journey start of becoming an actor? How did that happen?
So doing a reality show honestly was never part of my agenda, and I hope I don't come across as someone अरे ये ऐसा है. I never saw reality shows when I was growing up. Okay, बचपन में I saw a little bit, but for me my journey was always clear. I wanted to be an actor ever since I knew कि मुझे कुछ बनना है, and I spent years training में before I started working. I think professionally in 2019. But I've been training since 2012. तो मैंने 7 साल सिर्फ ट्रेनिंग की. I'd gone to film school, I've studied producing, I went to LA for 2 years acting. तो मेरे लिए my journey was so clear कि I want to act, I want to do good cinema, I want to do movies. But of course, Splitsvilla just happened. I just come back from LA a while ago. मैं पढ़ के आया था and the opportunity came along. The funny part is मैं अपने दोस्त का ऑडिशन बना के भेज रहा था. My best friend, I was sending his audition. He's like, भाई तू भी अपना बना के भेज दे, क्या जाएगा? And I was free at that time, so I मस्ती में sent my introduction to the casting people for Splitsvilla. And a month later, they called me कि Viacom के office meeting के लिए आ जाओ. And I'm like, I never wanted to do. I never thought of it. But I was like, maybe it'll be a fun opportunity. I'll get to network with people at Viacom or meet someone. I went to the show, the interview happened, and then everything got done. 2 दिन बाद phone है आपका Splitsvilla में हो गया है. परसों 2 हफ्ते बाद shoot है. And I was just not sure if I want to do this also. Because I remember on the call, आप खुश sound नहीं कर रहे हो. Because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do the show or not. But then when the show happened, I feel like it really did change my life in the way I had no clue people love Splitsvilla so much. Because I never saw it, so I didn't know उसकी reach और audience कितनी. But once I did the show and when I saw the love, I feel like that was like a big blessing which I didn't see coming my way before.
Having said that, you know, you won the show and, you know, Splitsvilla is a dating show, and you two were shipped back then. You had a lot of fandom.
Yeah.
But being in the public space, while coming out of it, was it easier for you, like knowing you will be questioned and stuff like that?
So I knew going into the show something can happen, and maybe once things I'm out, something may happen. So that way I was mentally aware कि ऐसा कुछ होगा. But जब होता है, जब अलग चीज होती है, so it got a little difficult. Not difficult, I'd say. एक टाइम तक आप चीजों को क्वेश्चन दे सकते हो, you can give answers. Things didn't work out after the show.
Yeah.
But after a point, it gets a little frustrating at times because मैं कितनी बार answer दूं because something's not happening. And
Yeah.
also, that person's living their own private life. I'm living my own private
Yeah.
life. But it was okay. It was not something very challenging. But कभी-कभी थोड़ा सा annoying हो जाता है. But that's also a part of you're a public figure, so you have to be answerable to the people.
Yeah. And with that, like when you took up Naagin, was it conscious decision that you want to get into that space where playing another character, or did you want to get into Bollywood back then?
So honestly, I've always wanted to get into Bollywood, but I've always wanted to act. बोलते हैं ना कि एक पार्ट पे ना जब 50-50 थिंग, एक डिस्टिंक्शन भी हो जाती है कि यार ये फिल्म है, ये वेब है, ये टीवी है, बट एट द सेम टाइम वर्क इज वर्क. There is no something is not big or small. So for me, Naagin I didn't actively decide it happening. How audition happened? They were looking for someone. They were replacing the lead, and I got a call. Are you interested? And for me, it was not. It was a no-brainer because Naagin was the biggest show on TV at that time. So for me, and it was Ekta Kapoor and Balaji. So for me, it was like a split-second decision कि हाँ करना है, because I knew it would help me a lot in my career later on. Also, it was a very fun show to do. I mean, you know, बोलते ना, it's like रादर में कोई टिपिकल डेली सोप करता मैं बोर हो जाता, बट यहाँ पे आई गॉट टू डू सो मच विद द कैरेक्टर. आई वाज सो मेनी डिफरेंट थिंग्स. सो आई तो हैड द बेस्ट टाइम शूटिंग टू वेयर द कॉस्ट्यूम, बी नॉर्मल, चेंज लुक्स. देयर वाज अ लीप हैपन, सो आई हैड टू पुट लाइक अ बिग बियर्ड, पुट हेयर, एंड कॉन्स्टेंटली एवरी 2 weeks थिंग्स चेंज इन Naagin. So it was very fun for me to do that way.
And also, you played father.
I did.
On screen.
I did. Eventually, I did end up playing fathers. That was also very fun because I made the जो दो लड़कियां थी शो में. I loved them. I just spoke to them a few days ago. I had the best time. I became little kids with those girls. So I had a
But you know, also actors के साथ ऐसा होता है that when you play such role, you have the fear of being stereotyped. Did you had such inhibitions when you were?
I think the whole stereotyping thing has become very less now. I think the stereotype ना कि अच्छा ये ड्रंक है तो ये ड्रंक प्ले करता है. फिल्मों में देखते थे पहले कि यार ये इसको सिर्फ ड्रंक का कैरेक्टर मिल रहा है, और शी इज प्लेइंग अ मदर तो ये सिर्फ माँ के रोल कर रही है. और टीवी में आई थिंक द इंडस्ट्री एंड एवरीथिंग हैज चेंज्ड सो मच इन द लास्ट 10 years where stereotyping is very less. And also वो जब भी होता है, जब I've only played a father once in a TV show. Had I done that playing consistently, then वो stereotype set होता है. Whatever I've done so far has been different from the last role. So I was not worried about, and also didn't know because, you know, the show got extended also, and then the story changed. So, but I was more than happy I got to grow a beard, grow longer hair. I was like, nice.
So, Shrey, tell us, with the boom of OTT platform nowadays, there's a thin line, मतलब TV से actors OTT कर रहे हैं, film से actors OTT कर रहे हैं. So there's like a lot of opportunity nowadays. What's your take on that?
I think it's great because earlier when I was younger, when I would see opportunities बहुत कम थी. Industry is still small, but I think when I was younger, the industry was even smaller because जो फिल्में बनती थी, फिल्में भी कम बनती थी. It was very closed off. There was no OTT. TV also was not as big. The channels that we have now, पहले बहुत specific channels थे. Social media नहीं था. Advertisements were very particular only for TV. So now with like ads, you've got TV, you've got TVCs, you've got digital, you've got social media, you've got YouTube. So I think it's a very good time for anyone to be an actor because opportunities इतनी बढ़ गई हैं. But the competition has also gone up because it's become accessible to everybody now.
Yeah.
Earlier, becoming an actor was just about अच्छा यार तू कर ले, but now the options have also increased of what you can do. But the competition has also gone up is because everyone has access to what you have. So, but I like it because more options for me to do and explore and play with.
And you also have a web show coming up?
I do.
Yeah. Tell us.
So the show is called Social Disconnect. It's directed by a very, very nice director called Karishma Kohli. So it's a show, I can't tell you much about it, but the show is basically set at how you got a rehab where people go for addicts like drug or alcohol, right? So it's a social media rehab and how the story takes place. So it's a very interesting show. The star cast is also very nice. We've got Ileana De Cruz in the show. We've got Anya Singh, Vihan Samrat. So that's also quite a fun show.
Shreya, I have to ask you this. When you won Splitsvilla and you were at the peak of popularity and just then lockdown happened, did you face challenges in finding projects, or did any of your projects that were about to happen got
Yeah, it
cancelled
was
like that?
bad. Like, for me at that time, I remember I was talking to my. क्या होता है? Splitsvilla was. It gave me so much love and fame at that time. So then when you get so much love and fame, लगता है यार this is that step. इससे अब career take off कर जाएगा. I remember the last episode aired in Jan of 2020 and lockdown happened in March.
Yeah.
So for me, what I thought कि ये show से चीजें मिलेंगी, क्या चीजें होंगी, completely opposite happened. So it took me a little while to process कि यार ये हो क्या रहा, because I was like यार अब तो मेरा time है, like everything is working, maybe this would align for me. So it was very hard. And there were no projects also happening. I did the show with Sony called India Wali Ma that happened almost in like September, October. So there was a big gap of 6 months. And I wasn't sure कि industry कब खुलेगी, काम कब आएगा. यार मैंने इतना बड़ा show किया, मुझे लगा था कि अब मेरे को बहुत मौके मिलेंगे. So it was a tough time, but then one thing I've learned in my time here and before that is patience रखना बहुत जरूरी है. You got to be patient and you got to be persistent because it will challenge you. There would be days where you're working constantly for a year and a half. And there would be times which I faced because Naagin happened almost like a year ago and I've not worked in a year. So there are times where you got to be home for a year, but there will be times where you're working constantly for 2 years. So it was a very challenging time post-COVID.
So being out of work, like projects on screen, as an actor it gets very challenging, taxing, to take care of like financial stability also you need as an actor. So how did you tackle them?
So I think there are two sides to when an actor doesn't work. I feel like, honestly, I would like to tell all the actors who are trying to come into the industry, in any way, is getting to work is a big deal. आप छोटा काम भी करो तो आपको काम मिल रहा है because इतने लोग हैं, तो I don't think anyone who's coming in should think about यार बड़ा काम ही करना because every work is work firstly, and secondly, not working, there are two sides to it. One is, as you said, the financial side of how you take care of that, and I think the bigger part is the mental side.
Yeah.
So financial side is luckily, it works. Of course, I had my savings also. I have my business that I take care of. So I've launched a post-production studio a few months ago because I want to make movies also. So that's something I've started a few months ago. So that's like also very helpful. And of course, I live with my parents also. That's also very strong backing I have, luckily. Mentally is the biggest challenge. Because क्या होता है, how do you keep going when you don't have work for such a long time? So there are days, as I said, good days, bad days. But then how I try to go through it is you take it as a luxury. जब आपको काम करने को मिलता है, you have no time to do anything else. तो जब free time मिला है, so for me, I try engaging myself in as many things as I can. So I pick up new skills. As an actor, I take workshops. I've started training for martial arts and gymnastics because that's something I never did. So there was a skill set because मैं ये सीख लेता हूँ. I did 2 acting workshops because as an actor, you got to keep learning new things. And यार कुछ दिन तो bad होते हैं. You eat good food, you spend time with your family, and you just try to get by and feel good. And you just stay hopeful. You keep at it. You keep working hard even in the free time, and that's how you get through it.
So also has this skill set which you took up in between helped you in your upcoming Bollywood project?
So it did. So honestly, right before I signed AMG, I signed another film. So that's how the prep started. So it was supposed to be an action film where I was playing the villain. And how it's very surprising industry में होती है ना. तो मैंने 2 महीने वो फिल्म की तैयारी की. I started training. I grew my beard, the long hair. Everything happened. And 2 months of prep सब हो गया था. And 2 months later, they told me, oh, we've taken someone else. So for me, I don't think of वो चालू हुआ, but it would help me down the line. Though the martial art part hasn't helped me yet, but I'm sure it would help me down the line because no skill ever goes to waste.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like you said, this social disconnect web show
Yeah.
of yours is coming. Having said that, social media is playing kind of a tool for actors, to get projects, to be seen, to be, very active on social media. Do you feel pressurized कि social media पे post करना है daily, to interact
Honest
with you?
answer, yes, I do. I'm not someone who's. I mean, I am on Instagram and social media, but I'm not someone who's actively on there trying to post and create content every single day. So it's been a big struggle for me. आधे लोग बोलते करो because ज़रूरी because that's how everything is relevant now is if you post on social media you get work through social media लोग आपको वहाँ दिखते हैं so it's a constant battle for myself to tell me यार मुझे नहीं करना है as opposed to sometimes in life you have to do things which even if you don't want to because we get so comfortable हमारे mind में कि यार मुझे नहीं करना है तो मैं नहीं करूँगा but maybe this is what's needed for your benefit of your career also so it's a constant struggle for me even daily कि मुझे नहीं करना है but as opposed to you have to because that's how life is now that's how the industry is now so you have to be relevant you have to post you have to be actively out there connecting to fans to people posting so
But have you gotten asked कि कितने followers है? Because right now, like many say कि followers दे के projects मिलता है.
so it in my experience it doesn't happen how do I say this it doesn't happen for big acting roles because if someone is making like a proper web show or a TV show or a film मेरे followers से ज़्यादा उनका content उनके लिए important है for them the story is much more important than इसके followers कितने हैं I think that in my experience the followers and everything matters more in terms of when it's a music video in terms of when it's a different maybe for a YouTube or something like that is because the concept of making a music video in my experience is uski reach badhani hai so if you already have a social media following the reach of a music video might be more compared to someone who doesn't have followers but in my experience for any good web show TV or film मुझे तो नहीं पूछा गया है because यार जो अच्छा कोई प्रोजेक्ट बना इतने करोड़ों रुपए लगा रहा है तो they won't ask me for my followers they're looking at the bigger picture as compared to oh can I act do I fit the character so I think those things are much more important than my own followers for them
And like with you having your Bollywood debut ahead, does it mean that you have transitioned from the television space or you're open to
no I'm
doing...
still very much open to over the years I've realized work is work for me it's about good quality work not just anything but I'm open to any sort of medium अच्छा काम करना I just want to keep growing so I'm open to everything
Being an actor surviving in this cutthroat industry what are the challenges that you have faced
I think it brings us back to the previous question I think it's always two challenges one is how बहुत सारे एक्टर्स बॉम्बे में आते हैं बट पहले 6 महीने साल भर में चले जाते हैं इट्स ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ सर्वाइविंग इन बॉम्बे इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट नॉट जस्ट फॉर एन एक्टर कोई भी बाहर से आता है सो द फर्स्ट चैलेंज इज ऑलवेज मनी एंड सर्वाइवल एंड द सेकंड चैलेंज इज ऑलवेज मेंटल so luckily because I've worked for a while the financial stability that is everything is taken care of so that's not been a struggle now it was a little earlier but not so much because I've had the blessings of my family and support mentally challenging ho jata hai because it's difficult it's very cutthroat the competition as you said is immense but मुझे ये आता है यार मुझे ये करना है there's never been an option a lot of people say कि आपका बैकअप प्लान क्या है have you thought of something else आपको कुछ और तो नहीं करना है I've never wanted to do anything else. I want to be in this industry. I want to act, but I also want to produce and direct eventually down the line. So this is the only thing I want to do. So challenging भी बहुत है, but होता है ना कि वो चोट लगती ना, तो इंसान टंग से वहीं उंगली करता है.
Yeah.
तो मेरे साथ प्रॉब्लम हुई. This is very difficult, but I still want to stick around. So I love. There's no other place I'd rather be.
And your parents have always been very supportive.
Always. I think honestly बोलूँ तो मेरा कीड़ा वहीं से आया है. is because I remember my first ever memory of growing up is हम लोग Friday को फिल्म लगती थी हम रोज Friday शाम को we'd go to a single screen to watch a film तो वहाँ पे वो 5 रुपए की चिप्स, दिस वाज आई थिंक 20 years ago, जो वो छोटे सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक मिलती थी, वो 5 रुपए की आलू की
Yeah.
चिप्स मिलती थी, समोसा मिलता था. सो फाई मेमोरी ग्रोइंग अप इज गोइंग टू अ सिंगल स्क्रीन थिएटर ऑन अ फ्राइडे इवनिंग, वॉचिंग जो भी फिल्म लगी है एंड हैविंग पॉपकॉर्न, पेप्सी एंड समोसा. एंड माई फैमिली हैज ऑलवेज बिन मूवी बफ्स. सो आई थिंक वो कीड़ा जो मुझे लगा है वो वहीं से आया है, एंड देव ऑलवेज बिन सपोर्टिव राइट फ्रॉम. सो वेरी ब्लेस्ड बिकॉज बहुत लोग को नहीं मिलता यार.
Yeah.
Half of the people who come to Bombay, उनको फैमिली का सपोर्ट नहीं मिलता,
Yeah.
and unfortunately they have to go back because things don't work out. So for me, I'm very grateful कि मेरी journey easy हो गई, because when I had to take care of money, I had that provided to me. When I wanted emotional support, I already had that. So it's been very grateful.
And Shrey, tell us with the post-production house that you have opened, what are your aspirations with it?
So my life goal apart from an actor is also to have my own production house. I want to produce and create movies. So the point of starting a post-production studio was to venture into movies, if not that way, this way. So the goal is to keep expanding the studio. So we've got edit, DI, VFX, sound, everything under one roof. So it's a small setup right now. The goal is, of course, to grow it to a bigger scale and eventually start producing our own content. So we do the post, we do everything together.
Lastly, wrapping up, any message for fans?
No message. Just keep giving all the love. Keep supporting. I hope I'm able to do a lot of good work for them to appreciate and like. And yeah, just stay safe, be happy, and be kind. That's my only message to everyone.
Thank you so much. It was great having
Thank
you.
you.